Thank you for joining the Alameda Chamber and Economic Alliance Economic and Government Affairs Committee meeting. I'm Becca Peralta. I will kindly ask everyone to mute unless you are speaking. And we have an exciting back to school lineup this morning. A lot of schools have actually already started, but I believe Alameda Unified goes back tomorrow. So we have a few guest speakers going to update us on what's happening with our schools. So I'm going to start, let's see, if we don't have Dr. Gilkerson, I'm looking at my squares. I'll actually start with you, Melanie, if that's okay. So Melanie Dixon is the new president of the College of Alameda. Melanie brings extensive experience in higher education and economic development to her leadership position at COA. She previously served as executive director of Project Attain, focusing on talent pipeline management for adult learners. Prior to this, she served as the 8th president of American River College, facilitating the return to campus post-pandemic and successfully completing the accreditation process. Melanie has a reputation for being action-oriented and places emphasis on collaboration with various stakeholders. She anchors her work in social justice and educational equity. In her current role, she is steeped in efforts related to dual enrollment, adult learners, and workforce development and growth. She leads by modeling and believes the pathway to success is through collaboration and intentional partnership. So thank you for joining us, President Dixon. I'm going to announce all of our guests, and then we will turn it over to each of them for their updates. So we also have, I hope she's joined us now, Dr. Tammeil Gilkerson, Chancellor of the Peralta Community College District. Dr. Gilkerson has nearly 2 decades of experience in community college education. She assumed the role of Chancellor of Peralta in January of this year, and she's really hit the ground running. Dr. Gilkerson most recently served as the president of Evergreen Valley College in San Jose. The chancellor job represents a return to the Peralta colleges, actually, for Dr. Gilkerson, as she was previously the president of Laney College from 2017 to 2020. From her days as a student leader at UC Berkeley to her direct work advancing economic opportunity and empowerment for communities of color, Dr. Gilkerson has demonstrated a lifelong commitment to social justice, equity, and inclusion that is so important in the richly diverse East Bay. And finally, last but certainly not least, we are joined by Jennifer Williams, president of the Alameda Unified School District Board of Education. Jennifer has served 2 terms as school board trustee since 2016 and has been selected as board president 3 times. Starting off working for Alameda Schools and PTA leadership at Bay Farm, Jen has led the school district through major improvements for more than a decade. During her tenure, the district has updated schools across Alameda to improve classrooms and educational facilities, implemented a thriving transitional kindergarten program for our youngest learners, and extended kindergarten to a full day. Hallelujah. She has worked to build strong community partnerships to provide mental health services and targeted interventions. Under Jen's leadership, enrollment is up, chronic absenteeism is down, and the district exited state oversight for the over-identification of children of color for special ed services. And in partnership with the College of Alameda, the district increased dual enrollment and summer school opportunities for students. In her day job, Jen is an administrative law judge for the San Francisco Human Services Agency. She previously served as deputy city attorney for the city of San Francisco. And she's running to serve a 3rd term on the school board this November. So welcome to all of our guests. Thank you for joining us. I feel like I should be playing some Beyonce right now. This is an impressive lineup of female leadership. So is Dr. Gilkerson on? Should we? Yes, there you are. Good morning. So we'll start with you, Tammeil, for your update, please. Good to see you.
Well, thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's such a pleasure to be with you all this morning. I apologize. There was like a big Mack truck sitting in front of the road. And so I was trying to circuitously go around the street. So it took me a minute to get here and settled. So I'm really pleased to be here. Thank you so much to the warm welcome that I've already received from the chamber. I want to just thank Madeline and the entire crew for welcoming. I got to go to a women's event too and meet many of you, women leadership event, and I've had the opportunity to meet with the illustrious Representative Williams in a meeting with, and I see online our incredible trustee Bill Withrow, whose lifelong service is just really an inspiration to me, and I know to this community that he serves. So President Dixon and I have a presentation, so we're going to go ahead and share screen, and I'll be very, very brief. So just to give you an update about us and the district. So we're pleased to be here and thank you so much for the welcome. So we're about to kick off a new academic year. We'll go ahead and do the next slide. So again, you already gave a brief bio about me, but I'm thrilled to be back. I have been living, I'm a product of the East Bay. I grew up in Hayward, California. I've spent my entire time in this little nexus of the world in terms of my working career and my life and leadership. And so really just pleased to be back here serving directly in the community I live in. I live in Oakland, but I certainly spend a lot of time in Alameda. It's one of my favorite places to be and spend a lot of time there. So really pleased to be able to serve in this capacity as the Chancellor of the district and looking forward to joining the Alameda Chamber Board here very quickly soon. So love your future. Well, goodness, I want to tell you all that enrollment is up. We're up enrollment. So we're seeing a steady increase each year. We're still under sort of where we're funded. You know, that's a very complicated story, long kind of things. But these postcards went out to 220, folks in Alameda, Oakland, Emeryville, Piedmont, all of our service area, Berkeley, to really ignite the fact that our four colleges are working together. Continuously to really share with students the love our faculty have for teaching and the work that we do. So I hope you've seen us on pop-up ads, on the internet, everywhere, and maybe at a postcard near you at your house. Next slide. So the mission of the district, just to frame everybody, is really we are a collaborative of colleges advancing social and economic transformation for students in the community through the quality education that we have, which is really rooted in equity, social justice, environmental sustainability, and partnerships. And look no farther than many of you on this call today who have been incredible partners with us. Looking no further than, Alameda Unified School District, incredible partner with us in terms of offering academic programs to students, partnering together on pathways, looking at how we can better serve, our students and communities. And this is why talking to Jennifer and other board members was really important to me, because it was an opportunity to say, how can we elevate and work together to do that even more in the future? Next slide. So just to give a frame of where we are, so all of our colleges, the four colleges in the Peralta Community College District, are in a 9-mile radius of each other. Man, right? So we are really, taking and really rethinking the way that we serve students. We are thinking much more about the fact that 41% of our students take classes from at least two of the colleges in our district. So students aren't a solo endeavor saying, we're just going to go to College of Alameda. They might find programs or services or particular things at another college within our district that they want to attend. And 17% of our students take classes from 3 or more. And it was a real proud moment for me at graduation. I created a stole that had all of the logos of all of the colleges and the Peralta district, and I had more students come up to me and say, Chancellor, I need that stole because I've gone to different places. And so it felt very celebratory. It's like kind of this thing where we are sort of united together, and each college is carving out and continuing to do the good work that they've been doing. And College of Alameda is certainly, and President Dixon's going to talk a little bit about that. But you oversee 6 cities, we're 4 colleges in 1 district, and we're really pleased and honored to serve this community. So a quick snapshot of our district-wide statistics, just so you can kind of see what reflects our spring 2024 demographics. So you could see there our district headcount at each colleges. And then what you can see really from it is, right, the incredible diversity that we have amongst our students, right, with Latinx students making up about 30% of our population district-wide now, but Asian and Black students still being like the largest, so we are a majority minority serving institution, and really seeing programs and services that serve distinct student populations. Again, education generally, more females are entering post-secondary education. We need to have conversations both locally and nationally about what that means with the brain drain for our male students and where we're going in terms of that and how we encourage and get more male identified students to stay in and complete and move on the pathway. But I want to call out the increase in the number of non-binary students who've actually disclosed their status. So as we create more inclusive environments where they feel like they can, be themselves and be trusted, as we change our institutional mindset to serve students more, that this is a really important part of that. And I know AUSD is doing it, and much of us, we are doing it as we look at the shifting sort of sense of who we're serving and where we're at. And you can see there, again, the age group. So again, our highest age group is the traditional 19 to 24-year-olds, but you can see that we really serve a wide variety, and it changes over each college, where like Laney College may serve more older adults than some of our, like College of Alameda or Berkeley City College, and so it does vary across the district. But again, our largest population is between 19 and 24-year-olds. So we're really pleased that the Bay, considers us their place for education. We're a top transfer institution. COA is going to talk about, President Dixon's going to talk about that. But next slide, I'll just close it up, is keeping it brief. Again, this is a picture of our service area and where we serve. It's really an honor to be here. I look forward to taking questions later. And now I'm pleased to just say, one of the important things for me is the fact that we hire and have been able to hire some really outstanding leadership. You heard a little bit about President Dixon. I got to tell you all, it was like the community is overjoyed. We did a national search, and President Dixon is like the leader. She is strong. She is student focused. She understands lived experience as students, and she's always aligning and centering into it. We got a lot of work to do in the district. We have a lot ahead of us, but there's nobody else that I would say I believe the Alameda community deserves, both College of Alameda and the city of Alameda, than a partner and a leader who is so thoughtful, genuine, and about the work of building community and economic development than Ms. Melanie Dixon. So I'm pleased to turn it over to her now.
Well, thank you, Chancellor Gilkerson. I really appreciate that warm welcome, and also the warm welcome from the chamber. It has been wonderful getting to know you all, and I would just sing the graces of Madeline again. Had an opportunity to meet with her, had an opportunity to meet with Jennifer, given our partnership with our K through 12, and certainly want to acknowledge our trustee, Bill Withrow. So with that being said, the Chancellor has really highlighted the interconnectedness of our colleges in this footprint of the Peralta District. I want to kind of drill down a little bit for you all about College of Alameda specifically, but I think it's important for you all to know a little bit about my background. So just wanted to share a small snapshot. You got my bio, but I think important for you all to know that I'm a native of Portland, Oregon, and I've arrived in California at the end of 2013. And my rationale for coming to the state was really around the Student Success Act of 2012. It was a forward-thinking legislation around how we ensure as a system in community colleges, not only access but completion of our students in a reasonable time, which really set the pathway and the groundwork for the pathways work that we're engaged in right now, and dual enrollment being a focus. So really proud of that legislation. Certainly encouraged me to move into the California space and have greater impact, and started my career in the Capital Region in Los Rios, but certainly have arrived where I'm supposed to be here within the Peralta District, serving the College of Alameda community. And I couldn't be more excited to partner with all of you. So with that being said, I'd like to share a little bit more of our slides here, and again, drill a little bit further on the College of Alameda specifically as it relates to the data. And I'm gonna stop sharing because I can only see myself and share again. My apologies. There we go. You all can see the slides again? Wonderful.
Do you want me to do it, President Dixon? You
I
got it?
think I got it set up here. I appreciate you, Chancellor Gilkerson. So, really wanted to start with saying, our focus of College of Alameda and the work that has happened prior to my arrival. I know that my predecessor sat on this, served and collaborated with all of you, and I want to honor that work. And some of these themes you may have seen, so if so, I apologize for the repetitive nature, but really what we stand for is really believing in achieving and ensuring our students are succeeding. And I would also extrapolate that across our employees. We really believe in the investment of our classified professionals and our faculty, as well as our leadership team to do this incredibly important work in our region. So I shared a little bit about you, and I won't bore you with any more details. I think we've shared what is most important for you, and I look forward to getting to know all of you a little bit more and sharing more detail about myself personally as it's relevant to our work. Our focus as we move forward, as Chancellor Gilkerson said, it's across our district, but certainly what College of Alameda is focusing on is dual enrollment. So Jennifer had mentioned, or will mention in her comments, but certainly was shared at the outset around our work in dual enrollment at College of Alameda with our K-12 partners. This work is really incredibly important for a few reasons. One, we want to give our students the opportunity to pursue their higher educational journey at a lowest cost possible, right? Mitigating the ability to take on debt while students are really trying to aspire to achieve their educational and career goals. I think what's most important also about dual enrollment is it's an equity endeavor. So this legislation was created to really create opportunities for students from low-income backgrounds, first-generation backgrounds, and students of color. And so I think that needs to be centered in the work, and that's certainly highlighted in the slides and the stats that Chancellor Gilkerson shared with you all. Our focus is really on ensuring that our students are being successful in math and English. We know that math can be a stumbling block for some students, and so we really place emphasis on that. And legislation is passed where students can move into transfer level math in order to ensure that they can move along and persist through our educational institutions without math being a barrier to completion. And so with that, we really encourage those courses for our dual enrollment students as well as English to get that strong footing, which really speaks to their foundation for any discipline that they would choose to pursue in our district or our college. And then certainly STEM is at the heart of what we do at College of Alameda, given some of the needs industry-wise in our region and certainly some of the interests of our students. And we'll talk a little bit more about those programs momentarily. So we will be doubling down on dual enrollment, really trying to create marketing around that, outreaching, boots on ground at your institutions and out in the community specifically, and certainly leveraging our social media and other communication channels to engage students and certainly educational institutions within our region. Adult education is critical, and you've seen the demographics across our district. College of Alameda as an area has a lot of older adults in our region that aren't necessarily stepping on College of Alameda's college campus to take courses. And so right now we're exploring ways in which we can engage that population, understanding that many that reside here have advanced degrees and are potentially out of the workforce or not in need of retooling or upskilling. And so we're thinking about ways in which we leverage more engagement activities for that population. And one of those examples would be what we call our Fab Lab. Many of you may know this as a makerspace. And this is an opportunity to bring community to our campus, allow them to build things, allow them to engage with one another, and certainly see the great things that College of Alameda is providing to the community and certainly could provide to them as well. Non-credit is another area by which we're exploring. It's really important for individuals to be able to access our institution that aren't necessarily pursuing a degree, or certainly those that might be acquiring language acquisition skills. And so that is an area by which we're focused on and certainly going to provide greater outreach and opportunity to the College of Alameda community. We talked about the male demographics in the region, and I think some of our programs are certainly attractions to that particular population, automotive technology really being one of those. And I think one of the exciting things I would share with this particular group is we have a new facility in building phase right now, opening up in January or sometime in spring, all things on track for construction. And we are super excited about that. So our diesel mechanical program will be in there, Automotive Tech will be in there, several programs that students will be able to cross-pollinate skill sets with our esteemed faculty, and certainly be able to engage and apply those skills in this particular community, which is important to us. So we're really excited about bringing in some more of our male students, engaging them in ways that feel important and valuable to them. And some of these programs are ways in which we'll do that. I'll highlight the last program that we're exploring right now, which is our drone technology program. This is in development as we speak, and there's certainly a lot of utilities for this particular program and a lot of demand for employees in this particular space. One of those in California is around the fires that we contend with year-round. And so the drone program also offers utility to support that effort in collaboration with our local fire departments and trying to ensure that we keep people safe while also making sure that we're understanding what damage and precautionary measures that we can put in place that would address some of our environmental interests in the region. The other piece to this is there are some new uses and advancements, and some of you may have heard this, around really using drone opportunities to address crime and addressing crime in a way that doesn't require officers, but a way to kind of understand and capture what is happening in communities in order to develop mitigation efforts. And so that's a really critical piece. And then probably the more lighter piece of this would be around the area of athletics. So when we think about some of the athletic activities that happen in our region, this would be an area where we could provide support. And again, another draw for our students in the region, but certainly the male population. Chancellor Gilkerson talked about our transfer and us being a top-tier transfer district, and College of Alameda certainly is up front and center in that regard. Our work right now is extensive. There's legislation that has been passed to really clear some of the obstacles out of the way for students. Previously, we had pathways that would either be on the UC track or the CSU track, forcing our students to really decide and make that decision, maybe before they've even been exposed to what it is that they want to pursue. That certainly was a disadvantage when we think about our interest in students completing their education in a timely manner, and as a reduction of debt measure, and certainly as an opportunity for them to transition into their four-year education or career. And so this transfer work is really going to be an area by which we are partnering very closely with our four-year institutions in order to ensure that our programs are aligning, making sure that curricular opportunities are being explored by our faculty, and certainly moving the barriers out of the way as it relates to matriculation processes. And so we're excited about this. The pathways as it relates to the new legislation will make it much more simpler for students instead of putting a fork in the road or a barrier in their midst. And so we're looking forward to working with our faculty to continue to refine that process, and certainly engaging counselors across the K-12 districts in order to ensure that we're all in alignment. So excited about that endeavor with our Alameda Unified School District. Again, talked a little bit about the transportation center, and this is really exciting for our college. It's kind of breathing life at the periphery of our campus. Much of our activity happens at the center, and sometimes we get concerned around whether community knows that we're there and doing great work and engaged and certainly invested in our young folks in the region, and certainly our community at large. And so this brings an opportunity to bring that fanfare back, see the activity, and hopefully engage our community in another way to come see what we have going on there. The great thing about this facility is you can look inside. While there is classrooms taking place, there are ports where you can walk by, take a peek in, see instruction in real time, which is really exciting for us and certainly for our faculty to show off the great work that they do. Our aviation center, and you all may know more than I do, and certainly I invested it before I came and applied and was excited about this program. The aviation program is one of a kind. There's only a few in our region, and certainly they're in high demand and provide high wage earning opportunities for our students at the outset of the program. And so we are currently doing some maintenance on that facility to really expand, create some upgrades in that space for our students to align ourselves with some of the regulatory processes and standards within industry. So we're excited for our students to have that advanced education that would allow them to transition into the industry very seamlessly. And many of our partners, our big airlines, are supporting us in that particular endeavor and partner with us as it relates to orientations and certainly hiring opportunities for our student cohorts. And I think what we're looking for, and one of the reasons we're here with you all today, is just to sustain our relationships. College of Alameda has had some transitions as it relates to leadership, and that's not something that is unfamiliar to all of you. I am very proud to be a member of this district and working under the leadership of Chancellor Gilkerson, one of the reasons that I joined this particular district. And the commitment to community and engagement in the region as a whole is bar none, and certainly excited me about coming and doing this work. So our partnerships with community-based organizations, governmental partners, industry is paramount. I've been out in the community, and there's a couple of you that I see in this space that I've already had the opportunity to connect with and talk about ways in which we could advance the education of our students, but certainly the economic standing of our region. And so I'm looking forward to that and hopefully have an opportunity to connect with each and every one of you in the months ahead. And so with that being said, Chancellor Gilkerson and I would like to just pause, allow you to take in some of the information that we've given you, and certainly more than happy to provide follow-up of any kind, but wanted to open it up for questions if that's appropriate to the chamber.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, President Dixon. I'm going to actually turn it over to President Williams next, and then we would be delighted to take questions from this group. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Becca. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. And I just have to say how incredibly excited I am to work with this new team at the Peralta District. Our teams met this summer. I met Dr. Gilkerson then, and then I've also had the pleasure of having coffee with President Dixon. And, you know, as Becca said initially, I've been doing this work for a while, and I have not been this excited about the work that we can do together with this team. And I'm just thrilled, and I want to tell everybody on this call that we're going to be doing great things together and really expanding access to COA for all of our K through 12 students, and I'm super excited about that. So anyway, tomorrow's the first day of school in AUSD. So people are super busy. There's a lot going on. We have a lot of new staff this year, a new principal at Alameda High, a new principal at Island High. Our enrollment is up. Our chronic absenteeism is down by almost 3% across the island. So really, unlike other school districts in Alameda County, our numbers are looking really, really good. We're starting the year with labor peace. We negotiated a historic contract last year for the first time in the history of AUSD. We are now covering employee health care for the employee, which is a big deal. That obviously will be an ongoing hit to our budget, and one that is going to require us to be even more thoughtful and judicious about the way we spend money. But I am so proud of the fact that we have made a value statement in this district that we are going to take care of our employees in a very basic way. So our teachers are happy, our staff is happy, and that means happier environments for our kids to be learning in. And again, just this COA partnership, I'm super excited. You know, Dr. Bajrami was wonderful to work with. We started with some great dual enrollment work and increasing summer school courses. This summer in particular was the highest number of AUSD kids that took advantage of summer school courses on the COA campus. But I know that there's a lot of work we can do together to really expand that. And one of the goals in my last term is to really, if I get elected, I should say, fingers crossed, is to really change the culture in Alameda around our community college. I've been on the campus a number of times, and it's an absolute gem. And we really need to do a better job of getting into our comprehensive high schools and really sharing this beautiful space with our kids and letting them know that it really is a great option. for a lot of kids to a 4-year process at a UC or a state school. So I'm just super excited about working together. We've got a number of things that we've been working on that I'm super proud of right now. We now have collaboration across all of our sites. All of our school sites are 19 schools. And what that means is that there's a set time in the day for everybody to come together on a weekly basis, all the staff to come together on a weekly basis and talk about learning and what's going on in the classroom. That sounds like a simple thing, but that literally has not happened in AUSD. And so to have that opportunity for staff to get together and work together really strengthens what's going on in our classroom. So that's super exciting. We've recently adopted new math curriculum, new social studies curriculum. And this year, for the first time at our comprehensive high schools, both Encinal High and Alameda High, we're offering AP African American Studies. My daughter is enrolled in the class and is over the moon. So this is something that we're really trying to be more cognizant of for our kids of color and offering a more robust, I should say, view of the history in our country from different aspects. So I'm just very excited about that. And, you know, comparing our numbers, we just recently did an audit and comparing our internal numbers with state data. AUSD is really looking good right now. Our math and our ELA performance, our test scores are higher than the state averages. Our graduation rates are higher. Our progress for our English language learners is better. The number of AUSD students that are actually enrolled in AP courses and excelling in those classes far exceeds the national average. So even in terms of what's going on in our classrooms, I'm really proud of the work that we're doing. Not to say we don't have our challenges, we do. I alluded to it initially, our budget. You know, we don't get the funding from the state. You guys have heard me talk about this many times. We're so lucky in the city of Alameda to have the community support that we have. But making the decision to really cover healthcare costs is going to really require folks looking forward in a very thoughtful way about how we spend our money. So that'll be ongoing work. We are starting, last night we had a board meeting and we're talking, there will be a line item on most of our general business meeting agendas talking about the budget, because we want to be incredibly transparent with the Alameda community as we go through this budget process and make sound decisions on behalf of staff and families that we serve. We are also taking on addressing school culture this year. This is another initiative, the use of the N-word on our school campuses, trying to deal with anti-Semitism and Islamophobia that's going on given the state of our world, making sure that we are providing the supports in our classrooms that are necessary to be talking about these issues. And then our ongoing support of our LGBTQ students. We participated a number of years ago in a class action against Juul, the vaping organization. We won a small settlement. We took that money and funded a part-time position that provides direct supports to our LGBTQ plus students. And that's another challenge that we have, to make sure we find that funding and make sure that kind of support continues. I'm super proud of the partnership that we have with Alameda Family Services because of that partnership. And again, funding a contract with them over time. We last year served over 100 kids with direct services for mental health needs. This is a big priority for me. I'm a firm believer that kids can't learn, that are suffering trauma. So to really make sure that we have those supports in place is critical. You all know the Alameda community suffered a significant loss at the beginning of July with the murder of a number of family members due to gun violence. That hit the Alameda community, Alameda Unified School District community particularly hard. Young William was a rising first grader and his mother was a student with us at the Alameda Adult School. So we have two school communities that are reeling and having a really hard time. And Alameda Family Services has been amazing. We've done a workshop on how to talk to kids about grief. Alameda Family Services is going to be present at Love Elementary this week as school rolls out, and teachers and families and children may need extra support there. I also want to give a shout out to Alameda Education Foundation. I know Vicki Sedlak is here. I've heard from more than one teacher, Vicki, that Care Solace, the online therapeutic intervention program that the Alameda Education Foundation funds for the school district, has been critical after this tragedy. We've had teachers reach out and receive immediate help from that online service. So again, I'm just so grateful for the partnerships that we have to really help teachers that are handling things that teachers shouldn't have to handle in this climate, but they do, and we're doing our best to rise to the occasion to meet their needs. We're also going to be working on our special education costs. They continue to be almost a third of our budget, about $33 million a year we spend on special education costs. We're trying to be thoughtful about how to reduce those costs. We're also looking at redoing the way Island High is configured. We have a new, like I said earlier, we have a new principal there, and we're taking this opportunity to really take a deep dive into continuation high school programs across the district. We have a team that will be touring those sites. I've talked to President Dixon about possible ways where we could partner in that work. So I'm very excited about that, because that is an area in our district that I think is a challenge that we can do better. So I'm very excited that that's going to be a focus moving forward. So that's kind of a very broad overview of what's going on in AUSD, but I'm super excited. The one thing I didn't mention, did I talk about the construction? We've got a ton of construction going on. We're very grateful to the Alameda community for the bond work that's happening right now. If you've driven past Wood Middle School, that's a $60 million project. That we're starting right now. We've built portables there. So the Wood students will be in the portables for the next 2 years while the Wood campus is completely redone. Those children will then go back to Wood, and then we will move our Otis kids into those portables for 1 year to complete some of the bond work at the Otis Elementary School that's already started. And then at the completion of that time, the portables will move to the Lincoln Middle School campus, where we will continue to do work on the Lincoln Middle School campus. So ongoing beautification really of our educational spaces. And we're super grateful to the Alameda community for that kind of support. But our schools are looking good, and I'm really excited for school to start tomorrow. So thank you.
Thank you very much. That is exciting. So you mentioned, Jen, Alameda Family Services, and I just want to let everyone know, if you don't already, they are having a fundraiser this Friday evening from 5 to 7 at Urban Cellars out at the Point. You can register from their website if you haven't already. Hope to see everybody there. And then Vicki, when is the AEF event?
Our event is on Thursday, September 19th. It's our second back to school barbecue. We decided it made sense to fundraise at the beginning of the year instead of the end of the year like we used to do. And Jen talked about so many exciting things happening at AUSD, and a lot of those we helped to support. The new principal, Island, our office happens to be on the Island campus. Man, he was over there his first day talking about some ideas and some support he might like. We've talked with Ms. Edwards of the Department of Equity about some support for the AP African American Studies classes coming up. So we have a goal to raise $50,000 for these kinds of supports that we offer. Tickets will be going on sale today or tomorrow, and I'll send something to the chamber, and I'll send, of course, something out to our newsletter list. But we look forward to, we offer the support when things just don't quite fit into a budget, but it's that extra that really can make the difference in something. So we want to be able to not have to turn anyone down with all these exciting things happening.
Appreciate all that you do. And yes, definitely get us that information. Okay, now I'm going to open it up to any questions for any of our three fabulous female leaders.
Now I have a question. I'll just segue into that. I was wondering if all the exciting things being talked about between COA and AUSD, one thing that I sometimes hear from principals or even teachers and all is the idea of mentorship programs, especially for males, for boys. And hearing you talk, Dr. Dixon, about, getting males in there and what would be interest for them. Sometimes I just wonder if there's some thoughts of that from COA to high school, and then high school can go down you know,
It's such a great idea. And I can tell you about one of the programs that's being started and certainly isn't going to end there. We have an Amend chapter being created on our college campus. And those outside of the two-year system may not be familiar, but essentially this program is around supporting men of color and certainly around education in particular. And so there's a mentorship aspect from that around professionals across the two-year system that connect with those young men and help support them. And then there's a culminating conference. We also have our student leadership kind of coming back to life post the pandemic and really on ground in full activity. And so there is an opportunity, and I think Jennifer and I talked about really leveraging our student leaders to be able to reach out to our high schools and our middle schools to engage young students in the opportunities at community college, and certainly speaking language around their experiences and how that may transition. So we've absolutely had the conversation. There's absolute interest, and I appreciate you posing that question. And I'm glad that that is also an interest that you've heard from principals across the system. Thank you so much, Vicki.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Gail.
Hi, thank you, Becca. My name is Gail Payne. I'm a project manager with the City of Alameda, and it's great to meet Chancellor Gilkerson and President Dixon. And I would love to set up a meeting with President Dixon, especially on two different projects we're working on. I'm a project manager for both transportation and sea level rise. And we're looking at improving the Willie Stargell Avenue corridor, which is just north of College of Alameda and one of your main entrances and egresses. And then the other project we're working on is a sea level rise project for the estuary. And it's actually impacts both Laney College and College of Alameda. It would be great to meet with President Dixon to talk about drainage and how we can work together to improve the drainage and protect the two portals and your campus as well. So thank you. And we do have a meeting on Thursday night, a workshop for the public. So for everyone, and I'll put the webpage in the chat for everyone. And so if you want to pass on that, that's about sea level rise and protecting our community. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. And I'll put my email in there to you directly, Gail, and connect with you. And certainly I can reach out to my colleague over at Laney and have him join a discussion with us to make sure that both colleges are involved in the sea level discussion. And I live in Alameda, right off the street that you're doing the transportation work. So I'm very invested in that and look forward to having that conversation. Thanks for the great work you're doing.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Love the connections. Okay, any other questions for this group before we move on to our next update? Okay, thank you again so much to all three of you for everything that you're doing, and best of success with this incoming school year. Okay, next we're going to move to Liz Accord from Public Works with the City of Alameda. Liz has an update for us on the city's zero waste program. So we're excited to hear about this. Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, Becca. Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Liz Accord, Public Works Coordinator, and one of the functions I oversee for the city is the Zero Waste Program in Public Works. Thanks for sparing a couple of minutes for me to share a project update with you. I wanted to make sure all of you are aware that staff are in the process of updating the city's Zero Waste Implementation Plan, which, yes, is a mouthful, so we like to call it the ZWIP for short. And that ZWIP sets forth the city's zero waste goals, which for Alameda means achieving 89% diversion of materials from landfill. To do this, our goal is to have a plan set up to drive the city towards sustainability through source reduction and reuse, create equitable zero waste programs for the city, and provide a roadmap for city staff to successfully implement those programs and policies. It's a policy that's been in place. This goal of 89% diversion has been in place for some years. It was first adopted in 2010, updated in 2018, and now staff are focused on an update that will refine existing programs to get us from our current diversion rate, which is 81%, to that overall goal. So I am going to ask for your feedback, not today, but at some future opportunities. But we have 4 major focus areas that we're working on in this update: behavior change, waste reduction, reuse, and construction and demolition processing. And it's really critical to this project that this plan and the programs that we propose for those 4 major areas are not something that staff puts together alone. A successful ZWIP is developed in collaboration with community stakeholders like you to ensure that we are proposing the right programs for Alameda. So my ask from you is for your feedback and input about this process, specifically how zero waste policies and programs in Alameda intersect with your world. And we want to make sure that staff and the project team understand your successes and also your challenges in achieving zero waste. So there are several ways you can share some input with me and the team. I'll put this, all of these details in the chat, but you can certainly call me or email me and share your feedback or input directly. We do have a virtual community meeting coming up this month, August 26th at noon. And we're scheduled to have a city council workshop on October 15th, which would be a joint workshop with the Climate Action and Resilience Plan update team. So I know that there's a lot of information that I just dropped on your plates this Wednesday morning. I will also in the chat put our project page where you can learn more about the overall project, the past zero waste efforts, existing programs, etc. And thank you very much. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts.
Great. Yes. Thank you so much, Liz. Okay. Eric Fonstein, there you are. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Becca.
We'd love an update from you.
I'm Eric Fonstein with the city's Economic Development Department. I'm filling in for Lois Butler, who retired at the end of the month. And I'll be substituting for Lois until a permanent manager comes on board. But thank you, Becca and Madeline, for putting together this great program. We're very excited to be part of the team on workforce development and developing career pathways, working with Madeline in the Chamber and the College of Alameda and the community college system, and making the connections between education and local businesses. It's really important. It's the foundation, the education component is really the foundation for a lot that goes on here in the community. So we're very excited. Thank you. Just a couple things. And speaking of career development, we'll be having our 10th annual autumn job fair in September 24th at the South Shore Shopping Center. It'll be from 2 to 4. It's been very successful. Last year we had over 30 employers, and I think about 70% said that they plan to interview people directly based on participation in the job fair, and we'll be circulating a flyer through Madeline later this week. Also, we've recently opened up applications for our facade grant program. We are offering a special promotion for awning improvements and vintage sign restoration. We'll be doing 80% of reimbursement of the funds. So the applications will be due on October 17th. And then, let's see, I think also just final note, we'll be issuing an RFP in September for the sale of Building 92, which is where the Alameda Food Bank has been. Alameda Food Bank will be moving across the street to its permanent site. And so we'll be issuing an RFP on Building 92 sometime in September. Abby, I wasn't quite sure if there was anything else.
Thanks, Eric. That was fantastic. I had one other Alameda Point related update, which is that at the September 3rd City Council meeting, the City Council will be doing a study session on the future of housing at Alameda Point. So that might be of interest to some of you.
Thank you. And also, Abby, Eric, Madeline, we do, I believe, for Alameda Point businesses, residents, I believe there is an upcoming Alameda Point Business Coalition meeting. Can you remind us when that is?
You're muted, Madeline.
Madeline, you're on mute.
I got it. Sorry. So October, oh my God. Okay. August 22nd, next Thursday, it's the Alameda Point Business Coalition. It's for all business owners and tenants at Alameda Point. The flyer has been circulated there, and I know that the city sent it out, but I would really appreciate if you guys do one more sending a reminder this week, that would be great. Really appreciate it for that.
And what time and where?
It's 5 to 7. Actually, I apologize. It's 5 to 6 only. And it's going to be at the Storehouse Loft Courtyard.
Okay, Storehouse Loft Courtyard, next Thursday, 5 o'clock. Okay, great. Thank you.
Then
Thank you, Eric.
Point businesses there. That's why
Okay.
it's on the chamber website.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you for those updates. I'm going to move on. I don't see WABA here, but I do see the downtown Alameda district. Kathy Weber, good morning. Do you have an update for us?
Good morning. Thank you. What a fantastic presentation again. This is a great series, and we are very appreciative of the work that goes into it and the exciting speakers that you are able to bring to all of our business community. I wanted to quickly thank everybody who attended the 37th annual Art and Wine Fair last month. It was a great success. We're thankful for those of you who joined us in person, who sponsored, and who gave support. Thank you so much. And on this topic, we are very eager to welcome the Alameda High School students back to our streets as they start back in school. They bring a tremendous energy and excitement to the district, especially at lunchtime. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing, and I appreciate everything and the support that folks are providing for downtown Alameda. Thanks.
Thank you. Adam, do you have an update from the Post? You have a lot going on. Anything you want to share?
Well, lots going on, yes, but since all the education people here at All at Once, I wanted to remind you that we're a really good conduit for getting information about your programs and activities and successes and needs out to the public. And I'm always interested in collaborating with any of the schools to help share your message with the community. On our plate right now, we're busy fundraising to bring on a managing editor because I've been doing 18 different jobs and it would be nice to just only do 17. And she would or will be responsible for handling our day-to-day operations as far as editorial goes. So I'll be able to come out and talk to you all in person and tell you more about what we're doing and why what we're doing is so important for the city. I also just wanted to point out that we are working towards doing a candidate forum for city council. And if in some magical way a fourth city school board candidate shows up, we'll also do a forum for the school board. Otherwise, we might look at doing another of the races, but we're going to be holding it on Saturday, the 28th of September at the Mastic Hall from 2 to 4. And just wanted to let you know that that's going to be coming up, and we're going to be very involved in providing information about the election, since really no one else is going to be sharing information about what's going on here in Alameda. Anyway, thank you for the chance, and thank you for this great presentation this morning.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, does anyone else want to share an update before we move to Madeline?
Yeah.
Okay. Madeline, what's going on?
A lot going on in August. I'm going to start in chronological order. August 27th in the evening, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. It's the CARP update, and it's going to be hosted at the Alameda Chamber office, 4:30 to 6. That's on Tuesday, August 27th.
That's the climate action
Resiliency Plan update, yes, with Danielle Mueller. August 28th, you all remember that we used to have the Palladium, now it's called the Hub. We have a business after hour social on August 28th, 5:30 to 7 at the Hub. That's 2. Leadership is done. We closed doors. We're already full house. Thank you all for participating. I know there's a bunch of you here that are joining the new class of 2025. Then after that, on September 5th, it is our quarterly Alameda Women Leaders Program, and Becca put an array of amazing women in STEAM that are going to be presented and moderated by her. We're very excited. It's going to be hosted at the chamber office. There are tickets now for sale, and I know that Warren dropped the link for that. That's on the 5th. Then on the 26th, it's our last annual event, which is the Alameda Economic Forecast. We're going to have an amazing panel. Actually, Dr. Tammeil Gilkerson is one of the panelists. Abby will be one of them too, and we have a few more. Flyer is on the chat box here. Tickets are available for sale. So don't miss out on Alameda Women Leaders, and do not miss out on the Alameda Economic Forecast. That's throughout September. That's what we have. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's a lot. Thank you. And I will say for EGA, this meeting upcoming September 11th, still to be determined. We definitely are going to get an update from the Port of Oakland on what's going on with the airport plans. And we also might be having an update on a regional housing ballot measure if it does indeed make it onto the ballot for November, which will be determined today. So I'll keep you posted on that. And in October at our EGA meeting, we are going to have some experts on the elections talk with us about what's happening with the election. So you won't want to miss that, because ballots do drop that first week of October. The Chamber too is considering doing a candidates forum, and if we do, we'll keep you posted on that. And that's about it. Mario, did you have a question or a comment?
Just a comment. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. The Alameda Health System Board of Trustees will meet tomorrow evening to make a decision on the acquisition of St. Rose Hospital. This is all public information. So we've done our due diligence, and so the Board of Trustees again will make a special meeting tomorrow, make a final decision, bringing that system into Alameda Health System. So anyway, just wanted to share that again. Great to see you, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. And you did volunteer to do some Beyonce, I saw in the chat. So it's really not too late. We're all waiting. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Wednesday, great rest of your week, and we'll see you back here September 11th.
Thank you. Bye.